Hi, and welcome to Focus on English.
This is a calm English podcast for listening and real conversations.
Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive. It is absolutely fantastic to have you with us today.
It's great to be here.
We have a stack of really interesting articles and guides in front of us, but today feels a little bit different, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, usually we're diving into deep tech or global trends or these heavy economic reports.
Yeah.
But today we're going completely practical. We're looking at the tool we're using right now.
We're looking at the English language itself.
Exactly.
And specifically, we're thinking about the learner. We know a huge part of our audience, you, are using this deep dive to sharpen your English.
And based on the sources we have today, there's a very specific frustration that almost every learner faces.
I know this one. It's the textbook trap.
The textbook trap. You study the grammar books, you memorize all the vocabulary.
You pass the test with a perfect score, you feel great, and then...
And then you walk into a coffee shop in London or New York.
And you realize you have no idea what the people at the next table are actually saying.
None. It feels like a completely different language.
It really does.
And that's because, real conversation isn't built on literal translation. It's built on images, on culture.
Right. So if you're translating word for word in your head, you're just going to miss the nuance.
And you're definitely going to miss the jokes.
That is the worst feeling. Everyone around you laughs, and you're just sitting there trying to figure out what just happened.
Precisely. The sources mention this specifically. That feeling of being on the outside, because you don't get the real meaning behind the words.
So our mission today is to try and bridge that gap.
Yeah. Take you from the textbook to the street.
We're going to treat this like a coffee break. No pressure, no exams. We're just going to have a chat about life.
About the good stuff, the bad stuff, love, friendship.
And even betrayal.
Ooh, drama. I like it.
And as we go, we're going to unpack 5 specific idioms, these word pictures that native speakers use all the time.
And we're not just going to give you a list. We want to look at why we use them.
And we're going to visualize them so you never forget them.
That visual part is so important. If you can see the picture in your mind, you don't need to translate.
You just feel it.
You feel the meaning.
So let's start the story. And where else does a good story start but with strong emotions?
Ah, yes.
I'm talking about that rush, that feeling when you meet someone and your whole world just sort of tilts.
The beginning of a romance.
Exactly. So let's take the story of Carl and Susan. It's a classic setup. Carl is a focused guy. He's working hard.
Minded his own business.
He's walking on the beach, probably looking at his phone, checking work emails.
Standard modern life. Totally distracted.
And then he looks up and he literally bumps into Susan.
Oops.
And suddenly the emails don't matter. The job doesn't matter. He talks to her for hours. He's dizzy with excitement.
Right. Now, in a textbook, you'd say Carl likes Susan very much.
Which is grammatically correct, but it's so boring.
So flat. It doesn't capture the energy at all.
Exactly. So in real English, we use this very physical image. We say Carl is head over heels.
Head over heels. You hear it everywhere. Songs, movies. But when you stop and think about the actual words, it's a bit confusing, isn't it?
It is. I mean, think about it physically. Right now, my head is already over my heels.
Yeah, wait a second. My head is at the top, my heels are at the bottom.
So head over heels is just standing up.
It's just normal. So why does it mean crazy in love?
This is where the history is so cool. Apparently, the original phrase wasn't that. Centuries ago, it was heels over head.
Oh, now that makes sense.
Right.
Heels over head. That's an image of someone tumbling.
Exactly. Imagine you trip and you just go rolling down a hill. Your feet, your heels, they fly up over your head.
You are literally upside down. You've lost all control.
That's what that feeling is like, isn't it? That strong feeling of falling for someone. You're not on solid ground anymore.
You're tumbling. You're dizzy.
So over time, the words just flipped around. Head over heels just sounds a bit better, I guess.
But the meaning, that feeling of tumbling, stayed.
So when we say Carl fell head over heels for Susan, we mean she completely knocked him over. He's disoriented in the best way.
It's about intensity. You wouldn't say you're head over heels for a sandwich.
Well, maybe a really, really good sandwich.
Okay, fair point. But usually it's for a person. A sudden, deep passion.
So Carl is tumbling. The world is wonderful. But, eventually that dizziness has to stop. Reality sets in.
You can't tumble forever. No, eventually you have to land.
And if you're lucky, you land together. You move from that chaotic excitement to something more stable.
You move towards commitment.
And in our story, that commitment often leads to marriage. You know, you could say they signed a marriage contract.
Which sounds like you're buying a car. It's so cold and unromantic.
It really is. Or you could use one of the most famous idioms in English. You'd say they decided to tie the knot.
I love this one. It's so visual.
It's simple, right? Imagine two separate pieces of rope on a table.
One rope is Carl, the other is Susan. They're individuals.
But then you take those two ropes and you loop them together. You pull it tight, you make a strong knot.
And now they're not two ropes anymore. They're one unit.
If you pull one, the other one has to follow.
It's a symbol of permanence.
Yeah.
I mean, a good knot is really hard to undo. It holds things together.
And historically, in lots of cultures, wedding ceremonies actually involved physically tying the couple's hands together. So the phrase comes from a real action.
So in one of our stories, there's a couple, they've been together for 5 years. The whole head over heels thing is over. They're comfortable.
And they decide to throw a big party next summer. They invite everyone.
On the invitation, they wouldn't write, "We are signing the papers."
No, of course not. They'd say, "Come celebrate with us as we tie the knot."
Sounds celebratory. It sounds secure.
It really does, but, and I hate to bring the mood down, life isn't all weddings and beach walks, is it?
Unfortunately, no. The knot can get tangled. Life happens. You lose a job. You get sick.
Or maybe the most stressful thing of all, you have to move house.
Oh, moving house. That is the ultimate test of any relationship.
It really is. It's heavy, it's stressful, and it's always raining on moving day.
Always.
So this brings us to the next phase. We've had the romance, we've had the wedding, now we hit some trouble.
And this is where we really learn about friendship.
We have a proverb for this, and it rhymes, which makes it easy to remember. A friend in need is a friend indeed.
This is one of those phrases you hear all the time, but the grammar's a little bit old-fashioned, isn't it?
Yeah.
A friend indeed.
It is. Yeah, you don't really talk like that anymore. Let's break it down. The first part is a friend in need.
Okay, so that means when you are the one in trouble, you need help. You are the friend in need.
Right. So I'm sitting there surrounded by all these moving boxes, totally overwhelmed. I am in need.
And then we get to the second part. The person who is actually standing there with you
That person.
is a friend indeed. And indeed here just means really or truly.
So a friend who helps when I'm in trouble is a true friend.
Exactly. It separates the fair weather friends, the ones who come to the party, from the real ones.
I love the example from the stories about moving. It's so real. You text 10 people, "Hey, moving on Saturday, free pizza."
And suddenly everyone is busy. Oh, I have to wash my cat. Oh, my grandmother's sick.
Right. But then one person shows up, spends the whole day lifting heavy boxes, gets nothing out of it but maybe a slice of cold pizza.
That person is the definition of this idiom. They prove their friendship with actions, not just words.
It's about who shows up when it's hard. The trouble is like a filter.
A filter for the fake friends. It's a beautiful idea, really.
But it does imply there's another side to this. If there are friends indeed, then there are also friends who, well,
Who aren't. Yeah, the darker side of human nature.
we have to talk about it. Because sometimes the person you trust doesn't just fail to show up. Sometimes they actively hurt you.
They betray you.
This is the most painful part of the story. And English has a very brutal, very transactional idiom for this. We say they sold you out.
Sell someone out. It sounds like business.
That's exactly the point. It reduces a friendship, a loyalty, down to a transaction.
It means I exchanged our trust for something else, usually for money or power.
The sources point to the story of Judas betraying Jesus for silver. He literally exchanged his friend for cash.
And that image of the sellout is so deep in our culture, you're putting a price tag on loyalty.
Let's look at the workplace example. We have Antonio and Laura.
Ugh, this story. It's infuriating.
It really is. So they're colleagues, a team. They work late nights on a huge new idea for their company.
They're in it together. Laura trusts him completely.
And then Antonio takes their shared work. He takes the idea they built together
And he walks it across the street to the rival company.
and says, "Here's the idea. Give me a better job and more money."
He sold her out. He traded her trust for a promotion.
It's not just that he left the company, it's that he used their relationship as currency to get ahead.
That's the key part. You use information or trust given in confidence to hurt someone for your own benefit.
It leaves a scar, something like that. It makes you suspicious.
And that suspicion leads us to our final trap, a mental trap we all fall into after we've been hurt.
Right. So Laura was sold out by Antonio. Antonio is a manager who wears a blue suit.
So now the next time Laura sees a manager in a blue suit, she thinks.
He's gonna hurt me too.
She starts to generalize. She judges a whole group of people based on the actions of one person.
And we have a very messy, sticky idiom for this. We say she is tarring everyone with the same brush.
This is such a great image. We should probably explain tar, though.
Good point. Tar is that thick, black, sticky liquid they use for roads.
It's nasty stuff. It stains everything, and it's so hard to wash off.
Right, so imagine you have a big brush and a bucket of this black tar. You find one bad person, that's Antonio.
And you cover him with tar.
But then you take that same messy brush and you just swipe it across everyone else standing near him.
So now everyone is covered in black tar. The good people, the honest people, they're all stained.
You didn't check. You just assumed they were all the same.
To tar with the same brush. It means to unfairly judge an entire group because of one bad experience.
We see this all the time. You have one rude waiter in a new city.
And you leave saying, people in this city are so unfriendly.
You just tarred a million people with the same brush.
Exactly. And we usually use this idiom as a warning. We say, hey, I know Antonio was awful, but don't tar the new guy with the same brush. Give him a chance.
It's a call for fairness. A reminder to look at the individual. Just because one person sold you out
doesn't mean the next person won't be a friend indeed.
We've really covered a whole life cycle today, haven't we? It's been an emotional roller coaster.
It has. Let's do a quick recap of the journeys of these really stick.
Okay. We started with the dizziness, that head over heels moment.
Then we found stability. We decided to tie the knot, binding our lives together.
Then trouble hit. We had to move house. We learned that a friend in need is a friend indeed.
But we also faced the fact that some people will sell you out for their own gain.
And finally, we learned not to be bitter. We learned not to tar everyone with the same brush.
It's a whole narrative. And, this connects right back to what we said at the very beginning about learning.
How so?
Well, one of the sources talks about immersion being magic. But what is immersion, really?
It's not just being in a room with English speakers.
No, it's when you stop translating, you start experiencing. When you hear head over heels, if you're translating, you're thinking about feet and geometry.
But if you're immersed, you just feel the dizziness.
You see the tumble.
Exactly.
When you hear tie the knot, you feel the rope tightening. When you hear sell out, you feel that sting of betrayal.
That shift from translating to visualizing, that is how you jump to the next level.
That's how you stop feeling like a student and start feeling like a speaker. The language becomes three-dimensional.
So here's our challenge to you. Don't go memorize a list that says head over heels means love.
Please don't do that. It's boring and it doesn't work.
Instead, just keep your ears open. Watch a movie tonight, listen to a song. I promise you, within 24 hours, you will hear one of these phrases.
Oh, definitely.
You'll hear someone sing about being head over heels. You'll hear a character yell, "You sold me out."
And when you hear it, just notice. Realize that you didn't have to translate it. You just saw the picture.
And smile, because that means you're getting it. You're not missing the joke anymore.
I love that.
Before we wrap up, I have one final thought for everyone to think about. We talked a lot about judging others today.
Yeah. Who's a true friend? Who's a sellout?
It's easy to judge, but turn the mirror around. When your friend is moving next weekend, are you going to be busy?
Or are you going to be the friend indeed? That's the real question. Don't just look for good friends. Be one.
That's it for today's deep dive. Keep listening, keep visualizing, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you for listening. If this podcast helps you practice English, feel free to subscribe. See you next time.